the World Cup dream does come to an end. But we just saw those images of Cristiano Ronaldo heading directly into the tunnel and just sobbing. And I think that really is an image that's going to hit Portuguese fans very, very hard. This era has come to an end. We knew heading into this tournament that this would be Cristiano Ronaldo's last World Cup. And I think I speak for all Portuguese fans. I hope I do. When you say two words, thank you. Thank you for bringing Portugal to the level that this Portuguese Federation currently is at. Thank you for giving Portuguese fans the ability to dream in the way that we now do. Thank you for smashing goal records and appearance records, as you just did today, equaling the all-time international appearance record. And I think it's quite beautiful, honestly, that he did it today, coming off the bench. I think that really does tell the story entirely of how his evolution has kind of unfolded and where we currently stand. Well, we can discuss, Fernando Santos's decisions once again today, and I don't think he's to blame at all. He decides to go with the same starting 11, just one change, which, to be honest, I didn't agree with. I think most Portuguese fans didn't agree with it, bringing in Ruben Neves for William Carvalho. I thought William was stellar in midfield. He is a rock in midfield. I think he could have done very well against this Moroccan midfield that, as we've seen throughout the whole tournament, just runs in circles around their opponents. But I think he corrected the wrong in starting Ruben Neves with his substitutions. He brings on Cristiano Ronaldo in the 50th minute, not in the 70th. Gives Ronaldo a solid opportunity to make that impact, leaves Gonçalo Ramos on the field to allow both of them to play, brings on João Cancelo. I mean, and I'm smiling because the future of the Portuguese national team is so, so bright. You saw the players that came on, Vitinha, who also is a superb player, Rafael Leão off the bench. This era, this chapter does come to an end. I expect it to be Fernando Santos' last tournament as well. But the Portuguese national team, looking forward in the Euros in 24 and then in the World Cup in 26, this team is going to be in their prime, and I'm buzzing to see it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Gabby, to see you guys go out, but thanks so much for being with us again. It's always great to have you on. Craig, I'm interested to know your thoughts on the Portugal side of things today and what went wrong for them. We're just hearing there about the changes, and also we've had a fan question on whether you would have started Ronaldo. Now, obviously, after Gonçalo Ramos scoring that hat-trick in the last game, many would have expected him to start again, but would you have started Ronaldo in this clash, Craig, to answer this fan's question?
No, and I don't think anybody expected Cristiano to start. I don't think that was the problem, and I agree with Gabby. I was a bit surprised that he made the change again in the middle of the park with William Carvalho, his strength and his power and his defensive abilities as well. So that was a little bit of a surprise. I think ultimately, we had another false dawn. I mean, Portugal were so good in that last match out against Switzerland, who normally are such a hard team to break down and play against. But Portugal played with so much pace and energy and quality of passing and pace of passing. I think the quickness, and we saw that sort of dissipate today. João Felix wasn't able to get involved as much, and Gonçalo Ramos wasn't able to find those runs, and Bernardo Silva, the list goes on. That interchanging wasn't quite there, and I think it's such a disappointment from a Portuguese point of view, because we had Spain and I think it was 7, if memory serves me right, that thriller in the opening match day 1 against Costa Rica, and then that faltered. We had Brazil against South Korea, the sort of Harlem Globetrotter performance, and then that faltered, and then we had Portugal, who scored 6, and it was like, wow, this could be going all the way. Morocco are tired, and Portugal just have to do this again, and they faltered. There was so many false dawns with such talented sides, and Portugal are just another one of those. I do agree they have a lot of supremely talented players, and I think Fernando Santos has had his run. But I think ultimately, when they look back on this, Portugal, as defiant as Morocco were, this was the kind of Portuguese performance under Santos that we've come to expect. It was a little slow, it was a little laboured, and maybe the Switzerland game was the anomaly. That was the exception to the rule, and they sort of reverted back to type today, and it was a bit disappointing after a few days ago.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.